was like, oh, something did happen though. Do you want me to mute myself?
That's fine. It's funny if I hear your like little whatever you do.
Right, I'll be like.
Okay. I hate this shit so much! The only reason why I'm doing this, right, is because here's the premise of this whole video. Sorry, I'm blacking out. So I met this old white woman. I don't know why I had to say her race. Don't know why I had to do that. I saw this old woman at the library on Friday, right? Let me set the scene. Friday, June 8th, right? No internet for the entire day. I woke up at like 6 in the morning because I was trying to be productive. I had an essay to do. So I'm like, sure. I'm gonna go at 6 to my essay. I wake up at 6 and my internet's not working. So I'm like, what the hell's going on, right? My mom was already at work, so I'm like, fuck, I can't call my mom to see what happens to the internet. Did my mom forget to pay the internet bill? I was thinking like that. I was like, bro, what the hell's going on? So me and my brother, I try resetting the Wi-Fi box. I turn off, turn on. Basically, that's all I know how to do to fix internet, right? I do that, nothing's working. I go to sleep, wake up at 12, internet's still not on. I'm like, bro, what the hell? The entire day's not on? So me and my brother, I'm like, I gotta get my shit done, right? I had to do my essay. I have to send to my job my COVID test to see if I'm positive or not. I have to do this every single week, 3 times a week, right? So I need to send it. I'm only gonna. So I'm like, I need to go to the library so I can send them my COVID test and do my homework. I bring my laptop, my iPad, my Nintendo Switch, of course, because I'm trying to play some games while I'm at the library, right? So me and my brother, we walked to like this recreation center, right? To go Uber to the library because we're not trying to walk all the way there, which is like 30-40 minutes with all our shit, right? We're like, nah, I'm gonna Uber there. We go to the gym. They have Wi-Fi because they're not with Rogers. We didn't know until we got there that Rogers all across Canada, the internet was down.
Oh my god.
So yeah, we decided to like Uber to the library to see if they had a place that we could actually sit down, do our work, and then send us the email. So, what's it called? We get to the gym, we Uber, takes like 40 minutes because internet is like so slow that it will not connect to a driver, and it took like 40 minutes to freaking get us there. We get to the library, we step foot in there. I have my phone out, I'm like, yo, it's internet, like, is internet connecting? Is internet connecting? We walk in, this librarian comes up to us and she's like, oh, I see you guys are on your phone. There's no internet, by the way, so yeah. I'm like, fuck. Why the hell is there no internet?
Okay, so you were like, no Wi-Fi.
Yeah, no Wi-Fi. I was stressed as fuck. And I'm like, okay, so what the hell am I gonna do? First of all, we can't Uber back home because there's no Wi-Fi at the library for us to Uber home with. So I'm like, okay, I might switch. We're just gonna play for a few hours and walk around and look for some books. That's it. The librarian and I, we were just chatting it up. She was a cool woman. And I was like, hey, random question. Since I'm probably gonna be here for a few hours, what's your favorite book? Like, just tell me your favorite book. And she went off. She was talking to me about her favorite book, how everything she reads is like mystery books and like 1800s mystery centric themes of like, you know, internet, you know, like olden time mystery books. She talked to me about her favorite, not her favorite children, but like she has like grandkids and she's like a grandma. She's so happy that her grandkids are like a big part of her life, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we were chatting it up. She was a cool woman. We spent like 40 minutes walking around the library, just talk about her favorite books. I was talking about my favorite books, and I went around just getting books. I think the book I need to show you first is this one. This is the book she recommended for me, right? It is called Where the Dead Lie, 1800s mystery book. I'm reading this because she recommended this to me, and I don't know, I feel like her little adopted son. So I want to make her proud by reading this book and then giving her that, like, what I think about it. Like, I would never pick up a book like this, 1800s mystery, but I don't know. She left a mark on me. She's just so sweet, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. I need to like read this book because you recommended it to me. So I picked that book up. I'm probably gonna read it as soon as possible, but I got a lot of other books, right? And I also want to read those as soon as possible as well. So at the library, no Wi-Fi, walking around, there was this section of books, like used books that I could buy, and these are the used books that I have: Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, Fyodor Dostoevsky, The Brothers Karamazov, and Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte.
Mm-hmm.
The books I got only $4. I paid for 2 of the 3 used books because the Brave New World book, the pages are broken. Look, so they're like, yo, just take it for free. And the woman who recommended me to get this book for free was the woman who was walking me around the entire library telling me all these cool books to read. She's like, nah, like, don't worry about it. Like, you're a good kid. Just take the book for free. We got you. I'm like, what? This free book? Thank you. So I got this book, Brave New World, Aldous Huxley. I'm excited to read it. It seems cool. I've heard about it a lot. It's a classic. People talk about it a lot. My only thoughts are people talk about it a lot. This is a good book because people talk about it a lot. Holy shit. I don't even know what to think about it because I forgot the synopsis and there doesn't seem to be anything here. I think it's about a dystopian book about hope and like having no hope or like having no... Something is missing from the world for people to be better. I think like people are either too smart or too dumb. Something about, yeah, like something about them being too smart so they can't feel emotion or being too dumb. I don't know. I completely forgot about the synopsis of the book. So I'm going to read this book. It's only like 200 pages. It's a classic. So like people talk about it a lot. I think it's going to be good because it's very popular. I've heard about it like for literally forever. I'm down to read a dystopian novel about the predictions of the future or predictions of like how society's going to go based on society was going back into like the 1950s. I think this book was made 1932, first published. Okay, yeah, whatever. 1932, first published. So yeah, very excited to read that book. Also, I forgot to say this, but every booktuber who reviews books for like their July to be read or like books to be read, they always preview like a rating, like out of 5 stars. Do I think I'm gonna fuck with this book? Do I think I'm not gonna fuck with this book? This book, the one that my favorite librarian got me, Where the Dead Lie, the 1800s mystery novel.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give it 5 stars. Like I don't give a fuck. I love that woman. This is gonna be the best book I've ever read in my entire life, I believe. And yeah, I'm excited to see. I'm open to reading new books, and I know that I'm a bit picky with my books because I find myself truly liking the most boring shit you'll ever read in your entire life that is so long and has no plot and the characters don't do anything but just eat, sleep, and shit. Bro, that's up my alley. I would read a book like that any day. So I'm interested in reading a book where there's plot and things happen and it's not 600 pages long like another book I'm reading in this stack. So, Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. This is gonna be, I'm gonna say 4 stars because I've heard a lot about it and I'm pretty sure I downloaded the preview on Kindle. That's why I'm saying I know I'm gonna fuck with it because I know I bought this on Kindle or the preview for free, the sample. And I know I only buy it or sample it if I know I'm gonna like it. And I got it. It's like, I know I'm gonna fuck with it. 4 stars at least. It might not be life-changing, but hey, 4 stars is good. This is another book that I've been reading as well, but I'm only at page 20. It's in French. It's called Mythe de Sisyphe by Camus. And it's a book about absurdism, philosophy, life, growing up, blah, 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 blah. I think Albert Camus is my favorite philosopher of all time. And the reason is because he said this one stupid quote that I resonated with a lot. I thought it was so genius to think of, and it was so smart. But he has this quote of him saying, should I kill myself today or have a cup of coffee? And I thought that was like so little. I was like, yo, that is a really good way to like, I don't know, like it's just so stupid. But it was such like a funny way of seeing life of like, maybe I could, I mean, why not? Let me have a cup of coffee and then I'll be fine. And I thought about this quote in the way like I view life. For me, I don't drink coffee like that. But for me, my cup of coffee to Albert Camus coffee is like ordering something online. Let's just follow me. Just follow me. Like, if I am having a bad day, I'll order something online. And depending on how long that shit's gonna take is how I'm feeling that day. For example, if I'm ordering something on Amazon Prime and it's gonna come the next day, I'm doing fine. I just need a little pep in my step, you know what I'm saying? I just need a little something to make me feel happy for tomorrow. If I'm ordering something off of Wish, I'm going through some dark demons because that shit's gonna take at least a month to come to my door. And I need something to live for a month. Like, the Wish day, you know you're going through some dark shit, you know? Because you're waiting for your package to come in the mail. You're trying to live for a month, you know? Like, you're waiting for something to give you that dopamine hit a month from now. Like, you are... like, you're going through some dark stuff. So, When it comes to Albert Camus, I think he's a great philosopher. I hope he's not controversial because a lot of the old French ones, they've done and said some very crazy things. I don't know what he said or done. Hopefully he's good. But I think he is a good, and he's a smart guy. Like, he asks questions that I think of a lot too, where he's basically, the premise of the book is simply about the myth of Sisyphus, where it's a Greek myth in which a man, I think it's immortal, is like damned to forever push a boulder up a mountain, and it's supposed to like roll down every single time he does it. So for eternity, he's gonna push this rock up the hill. It's gonna come down again and again and again forever, which is kind of like torture, doing the same thing over and over again. And Albert Camus comes over here and says, well, first of all, this is the lives of a lot of people. People are doing the boulder thing like all the time. They grind their career, they grind money, they grind more all the time. They look for more, and it comes to a bigger house, more money, more friends, more accolades, more achievements, more. It's a never-ending hill that you're trying to fight up against, that you're never going to succeed against, because you'll never be perfect, you'll never achieve everything you want to achieve, and you're always going to be unsatisfied with what you have. So he puts that premise out there that, first of all, this is not as torturous as we think it is, because a lot of people are living this type of life. So what are we supposed to do with that information? He then proposes a theory that, in actuality, yes, a lot of people are living this life, but they're still content. Like, Sisyphe is still content with his life, even though he is supposed to be tortured by pushing this boulder up this mountain again and again. And he says that he still finds joy in the little accomplishment when he reaches the top of the hill. Bear in mind, I haven't finished the entire book yet, so I could be wrong with my synopsis, but I'm pretty sure this is what I'm getting from it, right? Like, that's the premise of, no, like, he will still find joy in what he's doing. He still finds success and achievement in pushing it up the 1,000th time, the millionth time, the 10 millionth time, you know? Like, there's still some sort of joy in his life, despite the mundane tediousness of it all. And I do believe that this analogy plays into my life as well as a lot of other people's too, where, like, I go to school, I go to work, I go to sleep, and I do that again and again. And I've been doing that for years now. And I would say my life has some joy as well, even though it is monotonous and tedious. So with that being said, my review, my prediction is this is going to be a 5-star book. It's also in French too, so I'm excited to read it in French because I need to practice my French, and yeah, I need to be bilingual because I have my, you don't care. I have a test coming up next year, and I need to study because if I don't, I'm not going to get my degree for university, so we need to get that studying going on real soon. Next book I'm reading is Fyodor Dostoevsky, The Brothers Karamazov. I never know how to pronounce that last part of the name because it's in Russian, and there's a lot of A's and R's and Z's and O's and V's, so I don't even know. But this is a 900-page book in which we just discuss the lives of 3 people, and that is it. Family life, growing up in the 1800s. You know how we do. This is the type of shit I love reading. Like, a long-ass, boring book about 3 people in a family. I'm also reading another book that has similar themes of this, and it's going great. Hopefully this book is similar as well. I'm reading East of Eden right now, so yeah, I like East of Eden a lot. But this book sounds very similar to East of Eden. I'm going to give it at least... Okay, my theory also. I want to give it at least 4 stars because I don't believe I can read a 900-page book and not like at least one part about it. Like, I can't give this book 1 star because, like, I'm going to like at least a single character or a single theme or something about it. So I'm going to give it at least 3 stars. Hoping it's 5 because it's going to be a waste of time if I don't like it. But we'll see. I like books like this. This is a classic. I stopped reading for like 4 years, I think. And now I'm going to read East of Eden and Fyodor Dostoevsky's 900-page book. I'm crazy, but that's okay. Next book, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name, but we'll just go with it. I only got this book because of Kate Bush's song, Wuthering Heights, and it's a banger. And I like Kate Bush because of Running Down the Hill and Stranger Things, so I was like, hey, let me pick up the book that she wrote her first song about, and that got really popular. This book, I actually have no idea what this book is about. Something about Catherine and her father and being bullied. I never read the synopsis. I don't know. I just know that Kate Bush made a song about it, and Kate Bush has a lot of similarities with the main character of the book, because apparently her nickname was Catherine growing up, and the main character of the story is named Catherine. So, yeah. I might listen to the song and read the book at the same time, or near the end, so it's like, meta. I'm gonna give this 3 stars. A good average. I don't know anything about this book. Hopefully it's good, but the song is good, so I'm hoping the book is the same. Diary of an Auction Thief. This is the worst fucking book I've read in my entire life. I'm not gonna read this book again. I'm not gonna finish this book. I think I got to page... Oh, that's my bookmark. Okay, cool. Probably like page 70. Such a stupid book. I hate books about some sociopathic man who treats women like shit. It's not interesting for me to read. I think it's just whack. And it was just so boring to hear a man just cry that his ex-girlfriend left him or something like that, and then treat other women badly because he was sad. 1-star book. I'm not finishing this book. I'm not gonna waste my time. Roadside Picnic. This I have some problems with. Not problems as it's bad, but I'm just... It's weird because I'm reading the first chapter or two. I read like the first 20 pages, and the premise of the book is amazing. The premise is taking the idea of how, or the perspective of ants, right? Imagine ants and humans. Humans are eating at a picnic, and we're like eating and leaving our garbage on the floor, blah, 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 blah. What are the ants' perspective of us leaving our garbage there and all our food? Like, what do they feel like, or what do they see, and how do they perceive the leftover remains of humans' activities, This book places humans as a perspective of ants in regards to aliens coming down to Earth, and they leave their garbage, leave their little junk and stuff and tech on the floor on Earth, and it's aliens, or it's humans' perspective to like deal with what that means. Like they take the garbage that aliens left over from their little visit, and they have to like analyze what the garbage means. Is it worth is it worth something? Is it valuable in some way? Like, what does it mean? What does it do? And it's interesting to put humans in this perspective because for once we're like the little small ants, and now we're trying to analyze what the big humans are doing, but it's aliens. So that premise alone, I thought it was super cool. And this is the first sci-fi book I've read in a long time, right? But the beginning of the book, the beginning turned me off so much. My Digimon card fell off, damn. Okay, so the problem with this book is, right? I wanted to see the beginnings of aliens coming down to Earth when no alien has ever come to Earth before, right? You get what I'm saying? So I'm trying to see like the beginnings of human life with no aliens at all, people just living day to day without any thought of the world. How do they react to aliens coming down to Earth, first of all? How do they react to them leaving garbage? And how do they react to, like, how does capitalism react to this new industry of like alien garbage, like alien goods? How do they adapt to selling these goods, analyzing these goods? How do they react to aliens in general? We don't get that. We're like stuck in the middle of it all. Like, aliens have already came to Earth, they've already left their garbage, and people have already been scavenging for these garbage and like selling them off and shit. But we don't know what happens in the meantime. We don't get the beginning. We don't get how this started or like what they thought of. We're just thrown into it. And I get it because this book is short. It's about like 200 pages, but it'll be so interesting to see the beginnings of it all. And I think that I would rather read a book that's 400 pages if we get the beginning parts of its premise, because the premise is so cool. And I think the main part that interested me was the beginnings of it all. How did they react to it all? How did they succumb to this new found life? And how to deal with it. So for now, I'm going to give this book 3 stars because the beginning is not about what I expected it to be like. And it also reads like a science fiction book because it uses science fiction terms. And I'm not used to that. And it's kind of cringy because it's like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. This is weird, dude. But I'm just going to keep an open mind and try my best to enjoy a new genre. The next genre I'm reading is the silent patient. Mystery genre. I'm more familiar with the mystery genre stuff. This is a popular book I found on Reddit and people say I should read it. So yeah, I picked it up at Chapters for $24. I got it for free because my mom gave me a Chapters gift card. And yeah, I read to chapter 4. I hate to be negative again, but it reads like a 2000s book. It reads like it's supposed to be for young adults, and I'm like, oh, this is it's kind of cringe, dude. Like there's swearing in the book, and I'm not against swearing. I swear a lot, but I just feel like kind of cringy. Also, the author tries this new thing. This author tries this new thing, in which he decides to flat out tell you who kills who and like why, I guess. And I don't know how I feel about it. For example, chapter 1. This is what we get. Alicia Berenson was 33 years old when she killed her husband. Dot. And that's the first line. And I think that, I don't know, I like getting into it. I like the progression. I want to know why she did this. Like, I want to know the family dynamic too of like who her husband was, what he liked, what he didn't like. We don't get that. You just get this random guy who dies, and you're like, okay, who cares? And this woman who's now like in jail, like in an asylum. And I get it. This is what the book's about. You're trying to understand her psychology. You're not trying to understand why she killed him. You just wanted to get to know why she's not speaking, blah, blah, blah. Because this book is about a painter, who kills her husband, shoots him in the face 5 times, and then she stops talking for like 5 years, and there's like a psychologist that comes in and tries to make her talk or like understand why she did what she did. And that's the book. Like, that's the whole premise. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I just kind of wish there was a mystery to why she killed him, but I guess the mystery is more of why she's not talking. People say this book is good. Over 4 million copies were sold worldwide, so people say it's good. Like, I'm gonna have to give it some credibility. You know, I'm gonna give this 3 stars. It seems like it's gonna be an easy read because it seems very young adult focused, and yeah, I'm gonna give it at least 3 stars. We'll see if I like it. Silent Patient. The last book I'm reading, East of Eden by John Steinbeck, with my little bookmark being a Magic the Gathering card, a Goblin token. Little quirkiness right there. But yeah, this book's it's fire. It feels so good to read a big classic like this because I feel so scholarly, and I also feel so smart, like reading it out in public. Like, yeah, I'm a reader, you know. Don't worry about me. That's crazy. But this book is good. I don't want to spoil too much about it. I don't even know what to say about it, to be honest, because there's just way too much. Basically, 2 families. You're growing up with them, right? You see their childhood, their teenage years, their adolescence. You see them grow up, which I think is tainting my perspective on all the other books because I enjoyed that slow-paced narrative of just learning the characters who they are. But these books, you don't get that because they're very short. So you just get the meat of it. But having the ability to like fall in love with these characters, see what they're doing, their motives and stuff like that, it allows me to be more invested in their actions and what they're doing, and also immerse myself in the world a lot more. I find myself being able to like jump into this book and take myself to the 1900s and feel what it's like to live on the farm and all these stuff. There's so much to say. Kathy's my favorite character so far. She's crazy. She does a lot of crazy things. Adam was my favorite character at the beginning, but I don't know. He seems so naive. It's really annoying. The Samuel family, the Hamiltons, we don't know too much about them yet because I'm only at page 200, chapter like 18, I think. Yeah. We don't know too much about the Hamiltons. I know in the synopsis it's about like the 2 twins being born, and the twins were born in this where I'm at, and this is where the meat of the book comes in. But yeah, I'm still at the beginning, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen next. Super excited. It feels good reading a big book. I feel very smart and proud of myself because this is the first book I picked up in 2 years. And yeah, I'm gonna give this 5 stars. East of Eden. This is my July to be read. I don't know if I'm gonna read this in July, honestly. I'm just gonna read this and then stop until I'm bored or when I forget about it. I'm not sure. I might read this book next after this one because this one's short and I want to make a video on this too. So that's it for me. Yeah. I have nothing else to say. I don't know. What do people do when they end videos? It's so cringe. But
No clue.
thank you for watching. Peace. Thank you for watching. Wait, I don't know. I feel like that's a way to end the video.
I think you did well.
Thank you. Well, goodbye.